Almost have it. Almost. Almost. Come on. Come on. It worked. It worked! It's the candle that combines the amazing scents of Pirates of the Caribbean and the Haunted Mansion into one very musky, watery scent. Guys, look at this. All it takes is the haunted candle and the pirate water candle from the Magic Candle Company, and you can get the secret Jean Lafitte scented candle. It smells just like him. If you guys are interested in recreating the scent from Soarin' Over California, Spaceship Earth, the Churro Cart, or of course, the Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean, head over to the Magic Candle Company at magiccandlecompany.com and use the offer code Offhand15 for 15% off your purchase. Also, get the haunted candle and the pirate water candle and mix them together and make the Jean Lafitte candle. You won't regret it. Also, this video is sponsored.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Today I'm actually not talking about Disney Sea in Tokyo. I'm sorry everybody, maybe next time. No, today I wanted to talk about something a little closer to home. You see, in the 90s, the Disney Renaissance was already beginning. Disney decided that they wanted to capitalize on this newfound popularity and open a second gate in California next to Disneyland. Well, maybe not next to Disneyland, but sort of close to Disneyland, to be another second gate in California. This brand new concept for a theme park and a brand new resort was very popular within the Disney company. Disney would open 5 brand new resort hotels and even a port for the Disney Cruise Line, which at that point was in the planning stages. So what ended up happening to this never-built Disney resort? And what homages to Port Disney and Disney Sea can we find in the theme parks today? Except, of course, like the name. Today we will be talking about the canceled and sometimes forgotten Port Disney Resort. 3 months after Disneyland's grand opening in 1955, in October of 1955, Jack Rather opened the Disneyland Hotel, which is in fact the same Disneyland Hotel that stands at the Disneyland Resort to this day, even though it's very, very different today than it was back in the 50s. They got a flippin' monorail pool now. The Disneyland Hotel wasn't really owned and operated by Disney, it was just owned and operated in partnership with Disney, if that makes sense. Jack Rather had Walt Disney's blessing to open the Disneyland Hotel and name it the Disneyland Hotel. Disney didn't necessarily own it though. The hotel opened with just over 100 rooms and also had 5 two-story guest room complexes known as the South Garden rooms. The hotel even had an on-site doctor and dentist, which is pretty cool. I guess you get a toothache at Disneyland, you can just go to the dentist at the hotel. Skipping ahead to 1988 when Michael Eisner was the CEO of Disney, after Jack Rather and his wife both passed away, Disney bought the Rather Corporation. Like the whole thing. At the time, the Rather Corporation owned the rights to the Lone Ranger and Lassie TV series, the Disneyland Hotel, and managed and operated the Queen Mary and Spruce Goose in Long Beach. The Queen Mary was a retired British ocean liner that sailed the Atlantic Ocean from 1936 to 1967. During World War II, though, it was converted into a troop ship and basically transported Allied troops from one side of the Atlantic to the other. The Queen Mary retired from service in 1967 and sailed to the port of Long Beach, where it would stay until this very day. It would eventually come under the ownership of Jack Rather and the Rather Corporation, and hence, eventually, yes, Disney. It's also apparently really haunted, so I guess I'm gonna have to make a trip down to the Queen Mary at some point because ghosts are my favorite. The Hughes H4 Hercules, also known as the Spruce Goose, was also part of the deal, but it's not as important to the story of Port Disney as the Queen Mary. You see, when Disney owned the Queen Mary, they also discovered that Jack Rather's contract to the Queen Mary also included 236 acres near the Queen Mary, although much of that land was underwater. 236 acres is about half the size of Disney's Animal Kingdom, but is almost 3 times the size of Disneyland. The park, though, not the resort. Although it is bigger than Disneyland and Disney California Adventure put together, so that's something. Anyways, I think I'm getting a little off track here. These 236 acres would be used to build a brand new Disney theme park in Southern California called Disney Sea. The brand new Disney resort would also feature the Shoreline Hotel, the Tidelands Hotel, the Marina Hotel, the Canal Hotel, and the Port Hotel. It would also feature new water transportation consisting of 400 new marina slips, which is where you park your boat. Well, I guess it's where you dock your boat, right? If it's in water. The World Port Ferry Landing for ferries bringing people around Orange County and Southern California. The Key, offering excursions, dinner boats, and charter boats. A port for cruise ships, and of course a monorail. I mean, what's a Disney resort without a monorail? Now this Disney Sea theme park, oh man, would it have been a killer theme park, and now it's in Tokyo and I'm probably never going to be able to go. Disney Sea would have been very, very similar to today's Disney Sea, and also very similar to the canceled idea of Discovery Bay at Disneyland, and of course Discoveryland at Disneyland Paris. We're talking Jules Verne absolutely everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Different attractions that would be at Disney Sea include the Mysterious Island, which would feature a recreation of Atlantis with a suspended roller coaster named Nemo's Lava Cruiser. Sounds intense to me. There would be a Greek village, an Asian water market, and a place called the Venture Reefs, which would kind of blur the line between Disney theme parks and snorkeling, I suppose, because it would feature a shark cage diving experience. Sign me up. Or don't. I mean, I'm totally okay with not doing that also. And the weenie, or centerpiece for you fake fans out there, for Port Disney would be the Queen Mary itself. But what happened to Port Disney? Why was it never built? And that, of course, came down to Disney's budget and the city of Anaheim, as it always does with Disneyland. The mayor of Long Beach at the time said that it would be a prime location for a Disney theme park, but if Disney decided not to move in, it wouldn't be the end of the world. The mayor of Anaheim, on the other hand, really wanted Disney to build their second park not in Long Beach, but across the street from Disneyland. And Anaheim, quote, vowed to do almost anything to be Disney's choice, close quote, for the new park. Although the Anaheim mayor did believe that both the new Disney resort in Long Beach and the new Disney park in Anaheim would both happen eventually. And he was half right, to his credit. It's soon after this that a few problems started to become very apparent. Land taken from the project would displace the Spruce Goose and two existing Long Beach parks, and the Queen Mary would have to be relocated. The brand new cruise ship port would also compete with the existing port of Los Angeles for cruise ship traffic, and Los Angeles was not very happy about that. Road traffic had already reached levels projected for the year 2020, that's right, 2 years from now, in the mid-90s, and the addition of 13 million annual visitors, it would not be a good thing. Those poor California roads. And there are many other reasons why Disney Sea and Port Disney were never built, but I want to focus specifically on what I like to call California SB 1062, because that's what it's called. SB 1062 was written on behalf of Disney to clarify and confirm that Disney would have the authority under the California Coastal Act to fill open waters and build Port Disney on top of that filled land. Lots of different environmental groups opposed this bill because it would allow similar projects along the California coastline elsewhere, meaning that if Disney built Port Disney and Disney Sea, it may endanger some animals and change the habitats of entire ecosystems for the worse. And it would be a slippery slope opening the way to offshore oil drilling, which these environmental groups did not want. And, well, I mean, I love Disney, and I wish they did build Port Disney, but I mean, these are very valid concerns. Disney and these committees weren't able to come to a compromise during discussions, with the mayor of Long Beach saying that he just doesn't think that it makes as much economic sense for Disney or the city now. But I mean, Disney could have built it if they wanted to, they had the money. Wrong. You see, at the time, Disney was building a little park overseas called Euro Disney, and if you've watched my Saving Euro Disney video, you know that that project wasn't exactly the most popular or the most lucrative. The cost of the construction and operation of Port Disney was estimated at $1 billion at the time, which, I mean, is only half of what Avengers Infinity War made at the box office, but back then I just don't think Disney had that much money to put aside for one Disney theme park. So with this brand new Disney resort canceled, Disney decided to move forward with the park across the street from the original Disneyland. But no, it was not called Disney California Adventure. The park that was going to be built across from Disneyland was called Westcott. And if you're curious on the history of Westcott, I made a video a long time ago talking about Westcott, so go ahead and check that out if you're interested. But like I alluded to earlier on in the video, the project was not completely dead. In fact, the early stages of planning for a Disney Sea park were already in progress. Although, many of us know that this park would not be in California. Instead, it would be across the Pacific Ocean in Japan, in Tokyo. Elements of the planned California Disney Sea Park were incorporated into the Japan Disney Sea Park, like the SS Columbia moored in the American waterfront, a very similar ship to the Queen Mary. In fact, one may say it's inspired by the Queen Mary. Disney Sea in California would also include a boardwalk featuring rides inspired by boardwalks from the turn of the century, which reminds me a little bit of a place that used to exist at California Adventure and I guess still kinda does. I find it very, very likely that elements of this boardwalk land at the Disney Sea theme park were incorporated into Paradise Pier and later on to, of course, a very lesser extent, Pixar Pier. If you wanted to snorkel with sharks at Disney Sea but realized that Disney Sea's never going to happen in California, don't worry. I mean, you still won't be able to in California, but go over to Typhoon Lagoon at Walt Disney World and there you can, if that's what you want. The mysterious island land that was going to be built was built at Disney Sea in Tokyo with the massive Mount Prometheus as its centerpiece, which is a massive volcano featuring one of the best Disney rides, Journey to the Center of the Earth. And there was going to be a land themed around classical heroes like Sinbad. That was never built at Disney Sea, but don't worry, at Disney Sea today you can ride Sinbad's Storybook Voyage, an attraction that features one of the best theme park ride songs ever written. So what do you think? Do you think that Disney should have gone through and built Port Disney and Disney Sea in California, even if that meant not building California Adventure? And tell me which attraction is your favorite at Disney Sea, whether or not you've been on it ever, because I've never been there and my favorite attraction is, of course, Journey to the Center of the Earth. Remember, just because an idea is good does not necessarily mean that it'll pan out in the end. Sometimes you'll have to shelve that idea for a later date and build it an entire sea away. An entire Disney Sea away. Hello everybody, thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you guys really liked it. I've actually wanted to talk about Port Disney and Disney Sea for a while, and maybe I'll talk more about it in the future because it's very, very interesting and there's a lot I didn't cover in this video. Remember that if you donate on Patreon, even just $1 a month, you get access to early episode audio, so you'll be able to hear what I'm talking about right now earlier than everybody else, which I think is kind of a cool perk. Remember that you can also follow me on Twitter if you want updates regarding when I'm going to be at the park, or you just want to know what I'm thinking. Sometimes I post some weird things over there, so be sure to check me out on Twitter. Remember to check out the Offhand Disney Discord and subreddit. Remember to like and comment if you guys want to, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see more like this, there's a good way for me to gauge how much you enjoyed this video and how many more videos similar to this you would like to see in the future. Anyways, I'm probably just rambling at this point. Everybody, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.